Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, and happy Friday to everybody across my Instagram, which is just here, and my LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, and my Facebook group. I hope you have all been having a good week. I wanted to finish off this week of doing lives, taking you through each of the 5 core pillars that I take everyone through. Morning, guys, logging on. The 5 pillars that I take everyone through on my program, The Core. This final pillar is all about connecting with people and how we actually build an audience and get people to buy from us using content and using connection. So what I wanted to talk about today was content that actually gets you clients without feeling like you're giving it all away, because I know that is something that a lot of people feel, that they come, particularly on social media, that they'll come on social media and then they'll spend a lot of time giving away all the best stuff and telling people how to do things all the time. And actually that never seems to turn into clients. So what I teach on the core program is 3 different types of content. And I will come to that. Morning, Kate. I will come to that in the second part. What I want to just try and cover first is 3 things that you don't need to be posting, or you shouldn't be posting all the time if you think that this is going to get you clients, or you're finding that it's not giving you clients. So firstly, I know it might look like it, but you will not get clients if all you do is post on your blogs or your podcasts or your social media channels. Morning, Erin. If you only post tips and keep giving everything away for free, if you keep telling people how to fix stuff, how to do things, what the reasons are, if you keep giving them all the information, actually what you're doing when you are doing that is making people feel totally overwhelmed, and you're not actually helping them at all. It might be that occasionally they pick up 1 or 2 things that are useful from your content, but if all you do is just keep telling people how to do stuff, how to fix things, how to find solutions for stuff, morning, Maddie, then that content is not going to help convert into clients. Like I say, actually what that does is make people feel a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit like, oh my God, there's just so many tips here, there's so many things that I could do, there's so many things I'm being told that I should be doing, and I could be trying, that actually I'll just carry on in my state of paralysis, not doing anything at all. So giving tips all the time is not going to get you clients. And I will come on to where they do fit in the second part of this. But if that is what you're doing at the moment with your content, please know that that isn't alone going to get you clients. Recipe videos, I've just been asked. Absolutely. I'll come on to that when we look at the good way of doing this. But not constantly. You don't want that to be the only thing you're ever doing. Secondly, to talk about, which is a kind of development from this, telling people how all the time, how to fix things all the time. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do that. Here's, the 10-step process to getting this done. If you are telling people all the time how to do stuff, they aren't going to be valuing, morning, Serena, they're not going to be valuing paying you and coming to work with you, and taking that content more seriously. I think we will all admit, if we've been given free advice online, and let's be honest, I'm giving you free advice online right now, you might listen to this and go, oh, that's quite interesting. And some of you might go away and actually do something about it, but you're far more likely to go away and do something about it if you've invested in that. You take me more seriously, you take yourself more seriously, you take the process more seriously, and you get results more likely if you've actually invested like that and you are applying yourself, rather than browsing around the internet, picking up lots of information and lots of tips and lots of how to, and probably, like I said before, going back to that state of paralysis of, yeah, I'm not actually going to be able to do any of those things. I don't even know where to start. All of that information was free, and maybe it's all rubbish, and maybe there's something else that I need instead. So constantly giving people tips all the time, constantly telling people how all the time, is not going to turn into paying customers for you. The other thing that I see people doing, and I know it comes from a place of amazing qualifications and research, is that for you guys, particularly in the health and wellness industry, and you've really studied and you've done your CPD and you've done all your courses, is you lay on the science. You really lay on the science thick. And of course, the science is really important, because obviously that is why things are happening. But for your ideal customer, that is so far over their head sometimes that, again, rather than making them feel connected to you and understood by you, you're making them feel inadequate or confused. The amount of people, I mean, I know a little bit about nutrition and health, and I've done a little bit of my own research, but sometimes some of your posts, I read them, I just go, this is just too much science. Actually, that isn't helping me want to become a customer of yours. It's a little bit like, and what I find happening here is actually what you're posting that content for is more validation and a continuation of the course that you've been on, the kind of course colleagues that you have, maybe so that your peers can see that you're really clever and you understand the science, but it's not focused on the ideal customer. And for the ideal customer, that kind of information is just a little bit too overwhelming. Of course, the science is important and we can find a way to make it accessible and relevant to them. But again, constantly bombarding people with that kind of information when actually they're a good few steps behind you and they don't really know the science. All they know is that they've got these symptoms, these problems, this issue that they're trying to overcome. They want you to talk in their language. So those are three things I think it's really important that you don't get sucked into doing all the time. And I will come on to, I know I've been asked about recipe videos and things like that. I will come on to how we should be doing it instead and what the blend and the mix should look like with content. So three things to not do. Don't only give tips all the time with your content. Don't only tell people how to fix things all the time. And don't go heavy on the science all the time, because actually what people want is what I'm going to come on to now. What people want is for you to help them feel heard and seen and understood. And particularly with social media, that is where you're going to get that connection. That's where people are going to build trust with you, that you actually understand the situation that they're in. If you've got any questions about content, please stick them in the chat while I'm here, because I'm very happy to do a little tangent and answer any of your questions. And I can answer anything, whether it's on content or anything else in your business while I'm here, because this is the last one of the week. So 3 ways then to have a look at content that actually converts into customers. What I teach through the core program and what I teach all of my clients, and what I just sat last night helping a one-to-one client with, she's going to be leading up to a launch of a program that she's going to be running. So we were looking at these different types of content. It's 3 different types of content that you need to be creating. Firstly, you want to create what I call connection content. So we do want a little bit of helpful tips, a little bit of connecting with people. We want to hear more about you. So if you are not already present in your content, whether that's video, whether that's photo, whether that is your personality and, you know, how you show up, I want to see a little bit of that. Of course, we want to be helpful, but we don't only want to be helpful and be giving people everything that we know all the time. A really good way that you can flip this when you want to try and be helpful, but not just give everybody the how and make them feel overwhelmed with, oh my God, there's like 20 tips there and I don't even know where to start, is to tell people why. So when I help clients and when I help people with this content, I say, don't tell people how to fix that. So maybe it is, you know, how to reduce hot flushes in the menopause. Don't tell them how to fix it. Say, here's why this keeps happening to you. Because that type of content, the why instead of the how, actually helps people understand themselves a bit better. It helps them see that you are an informed person, an intelligent person, someone that is informed in this particular area. And it helps them move towards, okay, now I get why this keeps happening. What you can then say is, if you'd like to know how, book in a call with me or come and join my program or whatever it is that would then be the next logical step, so that they then invest or know that they're the right person for the product that is you're selling, rather than just telling them in a free post or a free piece of content, here's how to fix it all. I think knowing how frequently to post during the week and mornings or evenings or both, this may be useful to us. Beth, my answer to this is always, it's completely unique to you and your audience. So I always say, come at your posting frequency from 2 places. How frequent should you be posting? The answer to that is always as consistently as you can. So I want you to be honest with yourself about how consistent you can be with your content. I don't want, and the algorithm with any of these social media platforms doesn't want you to go, I can post every single day. In fact, I can post twice a day. And you do that for like 5 days and you're like, yeah, 10 posts, smashing it out. And then you go into a complete crash and then you can't think of anything else to post for 3 weeks and you disappear. So that doesn't help. What I say is you are much better to be consistent. So if you were being honest with yourself and you say, actually, frequency wise, I reckon I could post. The client I was helping yesterday said originally 3 times a week. She's still working a full-time job, so we've revised that down to twice a week. Be honest with yourself. How much can you really commit to, and do that sustainably over a long period of time? Of course, the answer with all of these social media platforms is they love your content. If you can post more frequently, you get more chances of being seen. But consistency is way more important. Mornings or evenings, the answer is two-prong. When are your customers most online? And you can check that in your analytics, because that can help. And secondly, when are you most likely to want to post? Because for me, I started realizing lots of my audience are on Sunday evenings. That's a very busy time for me. So I would post a post to my grid on a Sunday evening. And then I would realize I would just be on my phone constantly, replying to comments and getting the engagement up on that post, and thought, I'm missing my Sunday evenings with my husband. I don't want to be doing this. So actually, it's more important for me to create a balance in my life. And I only post now Monday to Thursday, because that's when people are relatively active. I post in the morning because it suits me and I can engage at that time. So it has to suit both. There's not a one size fits all. I can't say 5 p.m. on Wednesdays always works brilliantly. It just doesn't really work like that. Linda, how to know exactly who your audience is. So Linda, this is always two-pronged for me. So this is where I started, and I would recommend you go back and watch the video that I did from Monday. People say to me, especially with social media, oh, my audience currently on my social media are like this, or they want that, or they say this. That's different from who you want to be helping. So Linda, it looks like you are a career consultant. So imagine the ideal customer that would drop into your direct messages. What is going on for them? What are they struggling with right now in their career? What stage are they at? What questions have they got? Then you need to be creating content that speaks to them. And don't worry too much about who is currently following you and whether they're going to like it or not like it, because what will happen is some people will drop away because they'll realize actually that content's not quite right, but then you'll start attracting the right kind of person. So Linda, my best advice really, and that's why I start all of my clients, my members, my core program off with looking at who do you want to work with? Who's the dream person that would drop in, and what would they be saying? Imagine that person, and then that should be informing your content. Let me know if that helps you at all. Food Doula is saying, in a sales funnel, how much should be given for free? So what we're talking about there then, Food Doula, is a kind of exchange. So yesterday we were talking about mailing lists, for example. What we do want when we are exchanging, so when we're saying, would you give me your email address and I'll give you something helpful, we do want to give them a little bit of a how. We don't want to fix everything. We don't want to give them our 20 amazing tips or our full process of how to do whatever it is that you want to help them do for free, but you want to help them get started, or find a little quick win that makes them go, oh, that was really good, or that really helped, or that got me started, or I started thinking differently. I wonder what else there is. So there needs to be a little bit of like something they can implement. If there's been an exchange there, if you've if you've said, give me your email address and then I'll send you this little audio guide or this little ebook. If you watch the video from yesterday, I talk a little bit more about that. So you do need to be giving something away in there if you are doing that as a kind of funnel. Linda says, thank you. Great. Hopefully that was useful. So I am going to try and come back now to what I was talking about after, but do keep asking me questions though, because I love them and it's really helpful to just see what you guys are asking. So like I was saying, we want to be helpful. We do want to have some tips. We do want to, show what we're capable of, but keeping it super simple. And I would recommend you try that flip of, instead of telling people how to fix things all the time, think about why. Why is this happening? Why is this going on for you? Why are you getting stuck like this? Why does this symptom keep reappearing for you? Why are you still stuck in this cycle? All of those whys would be really, really helpful content to help your customer think, oh yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't realize that about myself. And they start to feel like they understand themselves a bit more, and they understand that you are someone that can facilitate that and help them. And then what you can do then is lead them on to, if you want to know how, book a call, come on my whatever it is that you're selling. So absolutely, connection content is super helpful. And what we do on the core is I give you literally hundreds of prompts for how you can create that connection content. We do want to be doing that a lot of the time. We want people to feel like they get us. But there's ways to angle it and flip it and try the why instead of the how all the time. The second type of content that you need to be creating to move people to actually buy from you is content that I call recognition content. How to get people to recognize that you are the right person to help them, and your program, your offer, your thing, whatever it is that you're selling. And we talked about packages on Wednesday, if you want to go back and watch that video, is right for them. So you really need to be saying, this is for you if, or I'm different from every other person out there, every other career consultant, every other personal trainer, like this is what's unique about me. Here's my unique approach, or this is what's different about my program. That needs to stand out. Recognition also, this type of content also needs to be recognition from them that they're right for it. And you need to be helping them through their questions and their problems. And we talked about this actually when we're talking about selling and handling objections. This is what we need to be doing in our content as well, and saying, are you worried about this? Or are you a bit stuck about this? Or I've had these few questions about what it's like to work with me, or what it would be like to come and join in my membership, or whatever it is you're selling. We need to be putting those things into our content, which is exactly hopefully what you saw I demonstrated on Wednesday in my stories with how to handle those objections. What we're doing is funneling people down them. We're connecting with them and making them go, oh yeah, like that's me, and I recognize that, and oh, that's a helpful tip, or oh, that made me laugh, or you know, I really feel like I get to know this person. Then we help them recognize, oh, I see why this person is different. I see why Vicky is different from every other business coach. I see why Vicky does it this way, or her opinions are like this, or her program would do this for me, which some others don't, or why I'm ready and I'm right for that. And then the third type of content, which some of you do and a lot of you don't, is actually sell, actually promote, actually say, I've got 5 spaces to work with you one-to-one. You know, would you be interested this month? Or drop into my direct messages, or hands up if you want to come and work with me, or almost sold out, or 20 places available, which is what I'm doing on the core. I'm saying, I've got 25 places, I've only got 10 left. You know, actually saying, come and buy from me, because people need to be told online what to do. They need to be called to action. CTA, call to action. Tell people what to do. You can't just put out lots of lovely, free, helpful tips and expect people to know, getting lots of love on that on Instagram, what to do. They won't naturally go, oh, that was a really helpful tip, that was really nice, and then suddenly disappear off and decide that they're going to invest in you and buy from you. You need to ask them to buy from you. People online need to be told what to do. Beth, touching upon you saying about being unique, if someone is trying to figure out what they're meant to do in life, what would you say to them, and how did you know yourself? That's such a good question, Beth. I would say, honestly, it's about experimenting and giving things a go. Hopefully, if you've been around my content long enough, you will know that that is what I say. You, particularly with the niching and knowing what to do and knowing what the package is, you know, newsflash, you probably aren't going to get it absolutely, like you almost definitely aren't going to get it perfect straight away. I certainly haven't got it perfect straight away, but you have to give something a go. You have to find that courage. And that's why I'm all about Just Start Now, to go, let's just give this a go. I think right now I feel really excited about this kind of person, or this kind of product, or this kind of way of helping people. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to put something out there, and I'm going to receive back information. I'm just writing this in my book at the moment as well. That information, whether it goes really well and sells brilliantly and you get loads of great feedback, or it's tumbleweed and nobody buys it, doesn't mean that you're great at it and it's going to work, or you're crap at it and it will never work and you're a total failure and you should give up. It's just information. It's just information that will help inform where you should go next and how you can slightly pivot and what you should do. The thing is, Beth, and anybody else listening to this that's thinking, and I have had a good few messages like this, like, is the core right for me? I'm still not really sure what I want to do. I know I've got this qualification. I want to work for myself. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. You won't know by staring at a blank piece of paper. It won't ever come to you perfectly formed. You've got to just get out there and give something a go. And that's why I've created the core, to give you a structure to work through so that you can put something out there. Because once you put something out there, you start talking to people, you start having those conversations, you start seeing what people are struggling with, you start going, oh, I really like this, or you start going, oh my God, I thought I liked this, and actually that is not what I want to do at all. So that is why my mantra is just start now. Start doing something, give something a go, put something out there. Know that whatever happens, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, that it doesn't mean that you weren't made for this or were made for this. It just is information on which to build and change and keep growing. I hope that answers your question enough, Beth. If anybody has any other questions, please let me know. I'm just going to recap then quickly. What I've said is 3 things to not do with your content, which won't turn into customers on their own. Don't only give tips. Don't only tell people how to fix stuff all the time, because it's overwhelming and it's too much and they won't value paying for you. And don't go heavy all the time on the science. Really think about where the ideal customer's at and talk in their language instead. 3 types of content that I teach you, and I give you hundreds of prompts and we go through together in the core, is connect with people, be helpful, and try and help them to understand why something is happening rather than how to fix it all the time. Secondly, the recognition content, why you and why them and why now and why this program, why this offer. And thirdly, you need to sell. And go back and watch the video on Wednesday about what selling is all about and how to feel great about it, because you do need to ask people to buy from you. You can't just put content out and expect them to magically think that they're going to come onto your website, click and buy your product. It doesn't work like that. You have to actually ask them to do it. Beth's just saying there, great answer. Thank you, darling. I've always been a trier. So I think even if I haven't found the thing I want to do, at least I know what I don't want to do by giving things a go. 100%. And that's the only way I have learned. I don't think, well, I certainly didn't wake up, when I was 12 thinking this is what I was going to be doing. I've just given things a go. I've really gone with my gut of, this is what feels right to do now. This is what I'm just going to give a go. And I try not to. I know it's really hard with that inner critic voice to be like, if this doesn't work, it means I'm a failure. That's just what I'm making it mean. That's absolutely not true. It's all just information to keep building and growing on. And anybody that you see being really successful will have tried lots of different guises and lots of different things before they've hit what looks like the thing. The thing won't ever just land on you. I don't think. I mean, I know Elizabeth Gilbert says about that idea of ideas floating around, but it's always an evolution. So you just have to give things a go. Great. I'm waffling on for a really long time this morning. Just to say, doors on the core close on Sunday. If you think it would be helpful, we cover this. We go into all of this stuff and finding clients for 3 weeks at the end of the program. So you're really clear on the content that actually converts into customers. And then we look at how to go out and find those customers. Please drop into my direct messages and check out the link that I have put down here if you are on my Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I've got in my link on Instagram if that is helpful for you and you want to come and join us. Like I say, doors close Sunday. We've got 10 spots left. Have a great Friday. It looks like a nice one. I am dressed, ready to go to the gym, and I hope I will speak to you in the DMs very soon.